Imagine you are driving down the highway, music playing, everything feels fine, and then suddenly you see those red and blue lights flashing behind you. You pull over, thinking maybe it is a minor issue, but the officer hands you a fine that is 3 times bigger than anything you have ever seen before. You are confused, you are shocked, and you had no idea that the rules had changed. This is happening to thousands of drivers across the United States right now in April 2026. And if you do not know about these new laws, you could be next. Welcome back to DriveAuthority USA, the channel that keeps you informed, keeps you legal, and keeps you safe on every road in America. Today we are talking about the biggest driving law changes that took effect this year, and trust me, these are not small updates. These are serious changes that are already hitting drivers hard in their wallets and in their driving records. So stay with me until the very end, because every single point in this video could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The United States has been updating its traffic laws more aggressively than ever before. States across the country have been pushing new legislation that targets distracted driving, speeding, reckless behavior, and even how your vehicle is equipped. Law enforcement agencies have been given more tools, more technology, and more authority to catch violators. And the fines, the penalties, the license suspensions, they have all gone up significantly. So let us break this down state by state and category by category so you know exactly what is going on and what you need to do to stay protected. The first and perhaps most talked about change in 2026 is the aggressive crackdown on handheld device use while driving. This is not new in concept, but the enforcement has reached an entirely different level. Several states, including California, New York, Florida, and Texas, have now implemented what are being called distracted driving camera systems. These are automated cameras placed at intersections and along highways that can detect whether a driver is holding a phone while behind the wheel. The cameras use artificial intelligence to identify the behavior, and the ticket is mailed directly to your home. You do not even need to be pulled over. The fines start at $250 for a first offense and can go up to $1,000 for repeat violations. In some states, 3 offenses within an 18-month period can result in a suspended license. So if you are still picking up your phone at a red light thinking no one is watching, the cameras are watching now. The second major change is related to speed enforcement in school zones and residential areas. Many states have now lowered the default speed limit in school zones from 25 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour during active school hours, and the fine multipliers in these zones have doubled. What used to be a $100 ticket is now $200 minimum, and if a child is present nearby, some states are classifying it as reckless endangerment, which carries criminal penalties, not just traffic fines. Additionally, several cities have installed speed radar signs that are now connected directly to law enforcement systems. If you pass through a school zone over the limit, an alert is generated automatically, even if an officer is not physically present. Third, let us talk about the new laws around electric vehicles and their specific requirements. As more EVs hit the roads, states have started creating regulations specifically for them. Some of these laws are about safety sounds. Because electric vehicles are so quiet, pedestrians, especially visually impaired individuals, cannot hear them coming. Starting in 2026, federal guidelines now require all EVs operating under 37 miles per hour to emit a pedestrian alert sound. Manufacturers are handling this in new models, but if you have an older EV from 2022 or earlier, you may need to get a retrofit done. Some states are already issuing warnings and then fines to EV drivers whose vehicles do not meet this standard during inspections. Fourth, there is a sweeping change in how DUI laws are being applied in 2026. The big update here is about cannabis impairment. With marijuana now legal in many states, law enforcement has been under pressure to develop reliable roadside testing for cannabis impairment. Several states have now officially rolled out oral fluid testing devices that officers can use at traffic stops. A positive result combined with observed impairment can now lead to an automatic DUI charge, even if your blood alcohol level is 0. The penalties for cannabis-related DUI are now aligned with alcohol DUI in most states, meaning license suspension, heavy fines, mandatory education programs, and possible jail time. If you consume cannabis legally in your state, you still cannot drive while impaired, and the law is now equipped to prove it. Fifth, aggressive driving and road rage incidents are being treated with much harsher consequences in 2026. Multiple states have passed legislation that elevates certain road rage behaviors to felony-level offenses. If you follow another vehicle aggressively, brake check someone, or make threatening gestures that lead to an accident, you can be charged with a felony rather than just a misdemeanor. Dashcam footage is being used as primary evidence in these cases, and prosecutors are pursuing them more actively than ever before. The message from lawmakers is very clear. Road rage is not just bad manners, it is a criminal act and it will be prosecuted as one. Sixth, let us discuss the new insurance verification technology being rolled out in multiple states. In the past, an officer would ask for your insurance card and you would hand over a paper or show your phone. Now, several states have connected their DMV systems directly to insurance company databases in real time. When an officer runs your plate, they can immediately see whether your vehicle is currently insured or not. If your policy lapsed even by 1 day and you are stopped for any reason, you face an automatic fine, and in some states, your car can be impounded on the spot. This has caught a lot of drivers off guard who thought they had a grace period or forgot to update their payment method. Make sure your insurance is active and up to date because there is no hiding it anymore. Seventh, there are major changes to commercial vehicle regulations that also affect everyday drivers indirectly. New rules around large trucks and their hours of service have been tightened, which means truckers are spending more time resting, and fewer trucks are on the road during late-night hours in certain zones. This is good news for safety, but it also means increased truck traffic during peak daytime hours. Drivers need to be more cautious around commercial vehicles, especially on highways, and be aware that trucks now have extended no-zone areas where they legally have the right-of-way in certain merging situations under updated regulations. Eighth, hit-and-run penalties have been dramatically increased across most states in 2026. If you are involved in any accident, no matter how minor, and you leave the scene without stopping and exchanging information, you are now facing mandatory license suspension on the first offense in over 30 states. If there is any injury involved, it becomes an automatic felony charge with potential prison time of up to 5 years. Authorities have also invested heavily in traffic camera networks and license plate readers that make it much easier to identify and track down drivers who flee accident scenes. The days of thinking you can drive away and not get caught are essentially over. Now, here is what you need to do today. Review the specific laws in your state, because while we have covered major nationwide trends, every state has its own version of these changes. Visit your state DMV website and look for 2026 law updates. Make sure your documents are current, your insurance is active, your vehicle is compliant with all safety standards, and your driving habits reflect the seriousness of these new rules. The roads of America in 2026 are more monitored, more regulated, and more strictly enforced than at any point in history. Thank you so much for watching today and for trusting DriveAuthority USA to keep you informed about what matters most behind the wheel. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with every driver you know, because this information could genuinely save someone from a massive fine or a criminal charge. Subscribe to DriveAuthority USA if you have not already, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. We will keep watching the roads, watching the laws, and watching out for you. Stay legal, stay safe, and we will see you in the next one right here on DriveAuthority USA.